Good afternoon. I'm Ethan Moy here with Coach B as part of the 19th episode of Coach B Weekly. Now, Coach B, it's tourney time now. We're here. We have games Wednesday, Thursday, possibly Sunday. It's crazy how fast this has gone, and really, just how exciting is this time of the year?
It's always very exciting,
Yeah.
but you got to keep yourself steady.
Yeah.
The excitement's natural, and you gotta enjoy for a little bit of time what you accomplished to this point.
Yeah.
And you've got to reflect on how much you've grown, but how much more you still need to go.
Right.
You don't stop. You don't stop continuing to try to get better at this point. We're very big into not
Routine
changing
driven,
who we
yeah.
are, and routines, and like you just said, routines, and not changing who we are, and continuing to try to do what we do better. And that doesn't change at all this time of year.
Right.
You get excited for the moment, you're excited to play the game, but you stay locked in, and you
Right.
don't let the moment take you away from who you are every day.
Right, absolutely. And you mentioned about, you have to enjoy the accomplishments, but, also look forward to the next game and the next day and everything like that. One of those accomplishments is the program's 6th regular season title, which was accomplished on Sunday. You're entering the tournament as the number 2 seed here, and it was also the 2nd straight regular season title. So how much of an accomplishment is that, especially considering, the amount of youth you have on this team, and a regular season title compared to a tournament title, it's over an 18-game slate. You went 16-2. So again, just how big of an accomplishment is that?
I'm very proud of this group so far. We've continued to climb. No matter if we shot the ball the best, or we didn't have our best day with doing something we had been working on. The passion and the energy to get better every day has been there. And I'm extremely proud of that, especially when you talk about the youth. When you have a young team, a lot of times, that deals with a ton of growing pains, and to be able to, go out there and accomplish some great things, while you're young, and being able to learn while you're out there, because so many freshmen getting so many minutes, having a lot of big roles. It's been amazing. It's been amazing, and I'm very proud of the development in a short period of time for some of those young ones, as well as the upperclassmen, how well they've taken these guys under their wings. We're never going to be able just to do it as coaches. It can't be just coach-driven. It's got to be player-driven. I was taught that a while back, that, teams that are only going to be successful are ones that are going to have player-driven student-athletes. And, that has a lot to do with, what we've been doing over here, and just staying focused on that, not changing that going forward is going to be important. Not settling for what we've done.
Right.
Just going back out there and going after it, and wanting to play the game, the actual game, the challenge. That's what we're about. The challenge of the game, and the game plan, and executing the game plan. All the other stuff outside the lines to us is, here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, I got you. And I'm going to follow up with and kind of shift my script a little bit here. You mentioned about the seniors. The senior class here won back-to-back NEC tournament titles. They've been to 3 straight NCAA or NEC tournament NEC tournament championship games.
Okay,
there we go. Sorry, I think the coffee's starting to wear down a little bit here. Anyways, though, a lot of accomplishment there. So how do you rely on them, especially with the youth on this team, and rely on their experiences heading into this NEC tournament?
Experience is very powerful if you use it the right way. That's something that I've constantly been teaching them, is that I'm always warning them. I'm always talking about this next moment, and here comes this next moment. This is what you got to be ready to handle, and I think that helps them a lot. I really do, but it's not 100% of what they need.
Right.
You need to touch a hot stove sometimes before you know not to do it again. And how you take from those experiences is what's been so important. And those upperclassmen we're talking about, they've done a great job of learning from their experiences.
Right.
People probably that come through in your life that they keep making the same mistake over and over, the same decision over and over. When they get in that moment, they just can't choose the right path.
Right.
We challenge our guys to do that. To say, hey, here's where you were, and everything was going crazy at that time. Did you stay locked in? Did you stay intelligent? Or did you lose your mind? Or did you go down that same wrong path? That is what experience is. Just having something happen and then not reflecting on it, and then making that same mistake over and over.
Right.
You're not utilizing it. Our upperclassmen have done a great job of that over the course of their years, and using that experience is going to be important for us at this time of year with those younger guys again.
Yeah. Now, we had 2 games this past weekend. We've been talking about the NEC tournament, but we did have 2 games this past weekend. Last Friday, beat Wagner 49-46. It was a hard-fought battle against, a Seahawks team. They're better than what their record showed.
Absolutely.
It was your fewest points in a win since 2012-13 season, but clearly the defense played pretty well considering you held them to 46. But what in particular in that game did you like from your team?
Well, I like the fact that we fought hard even though we didn't shoot the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that we kept being passionate on the defensive end of the court when, again, things weren't coming easy.
Mm-hmm.
Give Wagner a ton of credit.
Yeah.
I said that after the game. They played extremely hard. They were very, very active, and they were competitive all the way to the last, shot of the game.
Yeah. And again, they're better than what the record showed. I think like 7 or 8 of their NEC losses came by single digits, like 2 possessions.
Yeah, we saw them earlier in the year, and they played us tough back at third place, and they were playing well going into that game. And then when we saw them again, I was looking down the schedule and seeing, who they struggled with, who they beat, and so many close games.
Oh, yeah.
On the cusp. And
1 point here, 3 points there. Yep.
And Clark, inside for them, really made a big difference.
Did you realize that she was on the 2013-14 St. Francis PA team that you beat in the NEC championship?
Wow, I did not remember that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. No, I did not remember that.
Just a fun fact.
Yeah, I did not remember that. So she's had an interesting path.
Yeah.
Winding up at Wagner here and taking on the role she did for that team, she was very strong for them. And she definitely did a good job in that game, and she did a good job over at her place. We knew she was going to be tough. She didn't catch us by surprise, but she's just one of those go-getters. So, that's why that game with Wagner was tough. They fought really hard. They had a passion to be out there, and they did a good job of disrupting us a little bit. And I was really proud of how we handled it, and down the stretch, getting some really timely, good looks that we finished, and then getting some big stops. And that's why we were able to go ahead and win that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on Sunday, you beat Mount St. Mary's 66-54. The offense looked a lot better in that contest. Megan Callahan had 17 points. Neka Zebo and the Dej Pluvios had 9 off the bench. What'd you do during that Saturday practice in between games to kind of get the girls a little bit more comfortable offensively?
Well, you got to be careful there because when you're playing 2 games in 3 days, every coach would love to go out there and go after it,
Right.
And then want to see the team have continuous success in practice. You can say, boy, we're ready, we're consistent, we're getting it right, but you really got to trust your team at this time of year. And you got to be very efficient. That's one of my most popular words I've been using a lot is efficiency.
Because everything's in a time frame.
That's right. Yeah. Everything's in a time frame now. When you're not held to certain limitations with access to your facility, you're still held to similar limitations with ourselves, with our bodies at this time of year. So obviously being very efficient was important, and just tweaking some things that we had to in that game that was going to be important. And I was really happy with the outcome. I thought we finished the game well, and we did a good job of battling. Mount St. Mary's did not go down easy either.
And they had a lot to play for. If they would have won, and they actually did, I believe, get the losses that they needed that would have catapulted them into the 8th seed in the NEC tournament. But
I'll tell you what, as happy I was for our guys, I do have compassion for them for being on the flip side of that, because they fought really hard. They played hard on Sunday. They were really defending well, pressuring, and they did not quit till the very end. That team did not check out on that last game. So I give them a lot of credit, and we had to fight hard to win that game. So I think what they did on Sunday was no easy knockdown. It was definitely a hard-fought battle that we had to be really strong for 40 minutes. So I was proud of the kids though for doing that. Continuing to grind and to stay focused on the game plan, and did a good job on both ends again on that day. We finished not as strong defensively as I would like. We gave up too many points in the fourth quarter, but the body of work was strong, and we got tighten those screws coming back from that game now.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a 33-9 run in between the second and third quarter that really kind of decided everything there. Yeah. Now, with the NEC tournament, the new format here, we got, instead of the normal setup where it was home game 1 through 4 each have a home game, then you have a few days off, and you played semi, then a few days off, then a championship. You have the pod system here, so we have 4 teams under our roof here at the North Athletic Complex, 2 quarters and semis back to back. only 2 days in between the regular season finale and tomorrow's quarterfinal. So really, how does preparation change between last year leading into the NEC tournament and this year?
It's a lot different. It's a little different here because you finish on Sunday and you're rolling right back on Wednesday. For an early evening game.
Yeah.
So there's when you go 2 games in 3 days, and then you got 2 days in the middle, not a lot of time to rest and prepare, and you're going right back into an opponent that you didn't even know you were playing until, those games were over on Sunday, so it's not like you could have really prepared. So It was a little unique for us here as, some things were up in the air, but, it's a new format, and we just got to have our hands wide open with a full heart, like I always say, and just take things as they come to us and be ready to go to work, whoever we're playing, whatever the turnaround time is. Just have to adjust some things. I love having consistent routines, but you got to really continue to strive to find a great routine and with the hand that you're dealt. So the first thing is most importantly is go out there on Wednesday and play our hardest and give ourselves the best chance, and then whatever happens after that, just continue to adjust to some things and get together a healthy routine and continue to prepare if we happen to move on. It's a different format, like I said, so just taking it one game at a time, and then if we happen to go out there and get the W, just running right back and figuring out what we got to do next.
Right, exactly. And then tomorrow is the quarterfinals. You're playing Central Connecticut, the 7th seed. Complete a season sweep against them about 2 weeks ago, actually, out at their place with a 67-51 win there. Obviously playoff time a little different. They're going to give you their all. So how do you fight back and be able to come away and advance to the semifinals?
I always tell them at this time of year, you're going to get everyone's best. You're going to get everyone best, and nobody's going to lay down. Nobody's going to take a big shot and then just lay down. They're going to be ready to get up and fight back and just keep fighting. So you have to be sharp. You have to be mentally prepared. I've never been one that looks at the trends of we beat them twice, they beat us twice, we split. It was good you lost one. It was good that you lost. It's really about how you handle it.
Right.
Whether you beat a team twice in 2 contests or you went 1-1 or 0-2, it's about the next challenge, the next game, knowing how to handle success.
Right.
If you're a team that beat the team twice and you know how to handle success well, and you stay hungry, you stay focused, and you keep a steady routine, at least the way I feel that stuff doesn't matter to me at all.
Right.
That's not our culture. Our culture is no matter if we beat them twice or they beat us twice or we split, it's just going back in and knowing what we need to do, watching the videos and going over the game plan and being ready to execute the game plan. I just feel like a lot of times what makes trends a certain way is our mental outlook on how we go after things.
Right.
We don't change what we do. Just if we were to happen to lose a game this year, I always told the guys the sun will come up tomorrow, and we got to go back to work and get it right. And whether we beat a team, we got to do the same thing. And so handling winning and losing and developing into a certain team, that's at this point what we got to bring out the most, and just do what we do the best we can.
Right.
That's all I ask for, and Central I know is going to give us our best, and the challenge is awesome. I love the opportunity to go out there and play again, and we're very blessed to be doing this.
Yeah, it should be fun. Well, once again, thank you and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Tomorrow's game against Central Connecticut is a 4:30 opening tip. The following semifinal will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow, and the NEC Championship game will be at 2 p.m. All those games can be found, all the broadcast information can be found on rmucolonials.com.